I decree that Alex Russo is officially the Russo family wizard.
We're so glad you got your wizarding powers, Alex. You definitely deserved them, and so did Justin. It's pretty great that both of you got to be wizards, and Max really is a great fit for the sub shop. What are you and your family up to these days? You saved the world from your evil twin, so we guess everything else has been pretty easy compared to that. We never get tired of watching you and your brothers learn magic, but we've noticed a few things that we missed the first time around. Wizards of Waverly Place is one of the most popular Disney Channel shows ever, but it's not without its plot holes and mistakes. Keep watching for 10 huge mistakes you totally missed in the hit show.
Why do we have to eat this whole sandwich before we kiss?
I saw it in the movie.
A wolfish mistake. Wizards aren't the only supernatural people in Wizards of Waverly Place. There are several times that we see werewolves in the show. One episode in particular is called Beware Wolf. Justin meets a girl on WizFace, the magical social media, but she's a werewolf. He really likes this girl a lot, but when these two finally lock lips, something unexpected happens. Justin turns into a werewolf. According to the show, just a smooch with a werewolf is enough to turn someone. They don't even have to bite them under a full moon like most werewolf lore. But here's where the show messes up. In season 3, Alex dates Mason. He is also a werewolf. When these two smooch, Alex doesn't turn into a werewolf. That is a huge plot hole. It doesn't make sense for something to be true for one werewolf and not the other. There's a lot that doesn't add up with this storyline. It's like the writers changed their minds later on, but failed to provide an explanation. Accidental costume change. Beware Wolf is the source of another major mistake, and they thought we wouldn't notice. Sometimes shows have continuity errors. That's when certain facts don't continue throughout the entire series. It could be a major plot point like the werewolf issue. It could also be a mistake in costumes or set designs. We aren't quite sure how this mistake happened though. For most of Justin's date with Isabella, he is wearing a checkered shirt, but in one scene his shirt changes. In the park, he is wearing a checkered shirt, then he goes back to his house. He appears to change shirts as he walks around the couch after finding out he's going to be a werewolf. All of a sudden, his shirt is striped. We're pretty sure locking lips with a werewolf doesn't change your shirt. Then his shirt is back to being checkered. It's easy to miss, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. We aren't sure what happened in the wardrobe room for that scene. That's not Alex. TV shows often use stunt doubles for various scenes. These people are trained to act out physically taxing scenes that actors could get hurt filming. It's also useful when an actor needs to fight themselves for a storyline. That's exactly what happened in the TV movie The Wizards Return, Alex vs. Alex.
Dominic, it's over. You're not gonna take over the world because I'm here to save it. Again.
Alex accidentally created an evil twin, and she had to fight herself to keep evil Alex from destroying the world. There are a lot of fight scenes, so Alex obviously needed a stunt double or two. But the show didn't do a great job at covering the face of the stunt double. Check out this scene of Alex doing a backflip. That is clearly not Alex's face. It's not even a girl, it's a man doing the backflip. The show made a similar mistake in Wizards vs. Werewolves. We can see Justin's stunt double's face, and he really looks nothing like Justin. Next time you watch Wizards of Waverly Place, see if you can find all the times a stunt double showed up. How many legs? Another continuity mistake happens with the emergency wizards. They're basically wizard cops. One of them is a goblin. We don't know his name because it's apparently impossible for humans to pronounce. The emergency wizards show up the first time in Alex's choice. Justin and Max send out prank mail to relay that they are in a magical emergency. As a goblin, he has some strange features. His face definitely isn't human. And in Alex's choice, he has more than 2 legs. There are at least 3, and some fans have spotted 4. But the extra legs aren't the problem in this episode. The problem is they disappear in later episodes. The emergency wizards come back in Harper Knows. That's the episode where Harper finds out that the Russos are wizards. In this episode, the goblin cop only has 2 legs. And he's wearing slacks over his 2 legs. He wasn't in the first episode. This is a pretty sneaky mistake. We wonder why they decided to get rid of his extra legs. Lock it up. Alex's choice has another continuity error, and this time it happens within less than a minute. We know that sometimes scenes are shot out of order, so when the show is edited together, mistakes are bound to happen. Teresa Russo is tired of Justin and Max fighting.
You guys are gonna study your magic in the lair.
They make a big deal about how their lair is locked, but then Teresa pulls a key down from the wall. She sends them into the lair. We can see her debating on whether or not to lock the boys inside there, but she decides not to. She sets the lock on the counter. A few seconds later, Alex comes in upset about Gigi. We can see that the lock is back on the door behind them. Considering that the lock is a major part of the storyline in the episode, that's a pretty big mistake. We can't believe it was overlooked. Did you notice that error? You don't need to cast a spell for more great videos about your favorite Disney Channel shows. Just click the red button to subscribe to the thing. Be sure to turn on notifications for YouTube in your phone settings so you never miss another video. The Vanishing Apple. Honestly, we aren't sure what was happening in Alex's choice. Fans have pointed out more errors from this episode than any other. Another continuity mistake happens later in the episode, and it's similar to the issue with the lock. Alex and Harper get invited to Gigi's tea party, but it's really a joke by Gigi to humiliate Harper. Alex tries to convince Harper not to go, but Harper doesn't believe Alex. They're talking in front of a fruit stand. Harper is practicing handling apples before the tea party because she's so clumsy. She knocks down all the apples except for one, but in the next shot, the apple that stayed in place was gone. A few shots later, that apple is back. We're so confused. Where did the apple go? This must have been shot in several takes, but they didn't bother to keep the apple in place. Do you love finding all the mistakes on TV shows? Keep watching to find out the biggest mistake in Wizards of Waverly Place. Hall of Transfers. It seems like plot holes are a regular occurrence on a lot of Disney Channel shows, and Wizards of Waverly Place is no exception. It's hard to keep track of details when there are so many episodes, and each episode usually has 2 or 3 storylines. But this plot hole seems like a pretty big thing to miss. In the Season 3 episode, The Good, the Bad, and the Alex, we learn about the Hall of Transfers. This is apparently where powers get transferred to the family wizard.
So this is where I'll go when I win my powers.
Stevie's brother was supposed to be the family wizard, but he left the Hall of Transfers before he could get his powers. It's a huge piece of information about how the magic works in wizarding families. But then in Season 4, the Russos finally figure out who gets their powers. They never go to the Hall of Transfers. Instead, the powers are granted by the headmaster. We're so confused. We really expected there to be a big scene at the Hall of Transfers. What happened to this storyline? If something changed in the magical world, the show certainly didn't let the audience know. Mason the student. Has there ever been a Disney Channel couple that went through as much as Alex and Mason? We don't think so. Together they fought curses and vampires, they found true love's necklace, and they almost had to part ways forever when Mason became a permanent wolf. But true love triumphed and they eventually ended up together. However, there is a big plot hole with Mason's storyline. The first time Alex meets him, he is a new student in her art class. There's a whole episode about it because she accidentally insults his painting. But after that episode, they're never seen in school together again. They never mention Mason being at school either. How did this major plot hole slip past the show's creators? And that's not even the biggest part of the mistake. Mason is over 300 years old according to later episodes. Why is he a student at school at all? And he's an accomplished artist. He really didn't need to be in art class. Missing rope. We love finding small continuity errors in TV episodes, and there's a really sneaky one in the episode Art Museum Piece. You probably remember this episode because it's one of the funniest. Alex tries to make her art history assignment easier by bringing the paintings to life. She wants to ask them questions, but afterward, they don't want to go back in their frames. She tries to put them back, but she doesn't know where they go. Thankfully, Justin lends her a helping hand. In order to bring them to life, Alex puts a rope around the door handles. That way, no one can get in and see the paintings in motion. But later, the rope disappears. It's only for a split second before a commercial break. When the show comes back, the paintings are trying to leave and the rope is back on the door. Where did it go before? And how did it get back? We have so many questions. It seems like a pretty big thing to overlook. Miranda's mistake. Do you remember Miranda? She was the goth girl who Justin dated for a while. She first appeared in the second episode of the series, First Kiss. In this episode, we find out that they've been dating for a few weeks. Justin keeps trying to finally lock lips with this pretty girl, but Miranda appears again a few episodes later. Episode 10 is called Pop Me and We Both Go Down. This is the episode where Justin gets a huge talking zit. Miranda is introduced as a brand new student in this episode, and it is supposed to be the first time Justin meets her. Wait, what? It's only been a few episodes. We totally remember Miranda from before. There's a good chance that these episodes were aired out of order, but that is still a huge mistake. Did they think the audience wouldn't notice? We were totally confused and thought we were going crazy when Miranda appeared as a new student, but plenty of fans have wondered about this too. Who is your favorite wizard of Waverly Place? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you love Wizards of Waverly Place. See you next time on The Things.